So what is your name?
Polly Harris,
And you work for the Cottonwood Police Department?
Cottonwood Heights Police Department.
How many different positions have you held, like with different units?
Been on patrol most of the time. I've also been with the K-9 unit, and now I'm a school resource officer.
Which did you like the best?
I liked running the K-9. That was a lot of fun. A lot of work, but it was a lot of fun.
What did the normal K-9 day look like?
Took care of the dog. Usually we would do some training, and then if I got called to do a drug sniff, she was a drug dog, single-purpose drug dog. So if I got called to help another unit, then I would go and assist on a drug sniff.
Would that be your dream position if you could choose to have it for the rest of your career?
Probably not.
Probably not.
It was a lot of work.
Do you think getting a degree in criminal justice is necessary in this field?
I don't think getting a degree in criminal justice is necessary. I think it's helpful. But I have a degree in computer science, software engineering.
Do you think it would be worth it to go to college and get a degree in some kind of law enforcement?
I definitely think it would be worthwhile to go to college and get a degree, whether you did it in law enforcement or not. I think that's kind of sixes. Like I say, I've got a degree in computer science, so
And it worked out just
yeah,
fine.
I just had to take the law enforcement specific classes, and then you've got something to fall back on if you need to.
Mm-hmm. What's it like being a woman in a male-dominated field?
I've always been in a male-dominated career. So I was a software engineer for 15 years, male-dominated career. I think you have to understand guys' sense of humor a little bit. But I had two older brothers, so that's not a real problem to me. I know that they can be a little rough sometimes, and you just have to understand that. And they're usually very open. If you say, "Hey, that was across the line," they'll back off.
How do you balance work and personal life? Do you feel like things you encounter as a police officer sometimes come home with you, or do you feel
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had several calls that affected me for days afterwards.
What does the media or pop culture get wrong about being a police officer?
Almost everything. It's not all high-speed chases and arrests. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of social work, a lot of talking to people and trying to help them through situations. You're dealing with people that are having pretty much the worst day of their life for one reason or another, and you need to help them through that. And a lot of it's talking to people, seeing where they're coming from, and seeing if you can help them out.
So at a crime scene, who's in charge of gathering evidence?
Depends on the crime scene. Generally, if the first officer will secure the scene, and then they'll handle the crime scene log of who comes and goes. If it's a major crime, we're going to call a crime scene specific person to come and take care of that, or the detectives are going to come out and help take care of that.
What would classify as evidence?
Anything that can prove guilt or innocence in court.
Is all the evidence processed at the state crime lab or in the departments?
Depends on the evidence. So anything like DNA has to go to the crime labs. Blood goes to the crime labs. A lot of the drugs, if we do drug tests, they'll go to the crime labs, or some of the drugs will be tested in the department. Depends on the drug.
Have you ever been to the state crime lab?
No. I mean, I've been to the building, but I haven't been inside.
Would you say there is any bad blood between Cottonwood Heights PD and other police departments?
On a ground level, no. I think officers from every department get along well, and I think we get along well with the fire department guys too. Sometimes there's a little bit of tension, a little bit higher levels, but on the ground, the people on the street, no, we're fine. I love working with everybody out there. So,
what advice would you give to someone interested in going into law enforcement?
do a ride-along or a Citizens Academy, if you have that option where you live, to get an idea of what it's like. I did search and rescue for almost 2 years, and I did a ride along with the officers that did search and rescue to kind of get an idea of what it was like. And then I put myself through the academy and worked as a reserve officer for about a year before I went full time.
Thank you so much.